listening to myself.
My channel is generally aimed at people who
And
like
Peter.
stuff and just.
Whew. So much dust. Oh, I've got it in my eye. Hiya, welcome back. A really quick follow-up video from the display plinth video that came out on Saturday. A lot of people posted in the comments about why didn't I just take the blade guard off to resolve the problems with the riving knife throwing the cut out. And under normal circumstances, I would completely agree with you, but there are 2 points that I wanted to cover off. And hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense why I didn't do that. First of all, even with the blade guard off, the riving knife isn't perfectly in line with the blade. The riving knife was still slightly askew, probably about by 2 or 3 millimeters, and it was enough to throw the cut out, even with the blade guard taken off. So at least with the blade guard on, I could kind of use the blade guard as a bit of a handle to push the riving knife back to where it should be. So that's kind of part of the problem, or that's part of the explanation, if you like. But the other side of it as well is that I'm really trying to instill, especially to anyone getting into woodworking, I don't want to be putting videos out there with blade guards taken off and riving knives taken out the saw and all that sort of thing. I might well do that in my own time when I'm not filming the project, you know, just for speed. But I'm really trying to get out the habit of putting videos out there with things like guards removed and, you know, just trying to instill doing things as safely as possible from square one. Because as I say, there are people who are just getting into woodworking. Table saw's a beast of a machine. It's one of the most dangerous machines in the shop. And as I say, I don't really want to put across a message that it's all right to run one without guards or without a riving knife. What you do in your own time and what I do off camera might be a whole different kettle of fish, but hopefully you kind of get where I'm coming from there. If you have never experienced kickback on a table saw, you are very lucky. If you have experienced kickback on a table saw, the likelihood is you always use a riving knife. Probably. But there are situations where you can't use one, especially the one on the 745, which sticks up above the blade. And I think they now do a replacement one to resolve that problem. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this brief. So, I had tried in the past, there's no adjustment on this table saw to realign the riving knife, not that I can find. There's lots of different variants of the DW745. This one's a 2014 model, a Type 4 for whatever that means. Apparently there are newer models now where it comes with like shims or little washers to realign the riving knife. I've even seen some where they have dedicated adjustment screws to alter the angle. This don't have that. I can't see any way of realigning the riving knife on this saw. So I'd taken the knife out and I tried hitting it with a hammer to realign it. And it's such springed steel, it felt like it was probably going to snap the riving knife before it bent the riving knife, if that makes sense. So, as a last ditch attempt to try and resolve this problem, I hit it with a really big hammer. Many times. And guess what? I managed to bend the riving knife a little bit and the problem's solved. I'm not saying that's a good way of solving the problem. If anyone has a 2014 DW745 Type 4 saw and knows a better way of realigning the riving knife, please pop it in the comments. But I thought I would just give you a quick update there. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense now why I hadn't just taken the blade guard off, because it wouldn't have solved the problem. But it turns out that a big hammer has solved the problem. Thank you, Big Hammer. And of course, who was it who mentioned to just hit it with a lump hammer? None other on Instagram than my partner in crime, Peter Millard from 10 Minute Workshop. Link in the description. Thank you, Peter. You were right. Just whack it.